Hi everyone and welcome back to the Greatness Everyday YouTube channel. My name's Matt, and with this video I'm going to share with you something that I recently did that is going to help me better meet my financial goals, and at the same time I know you'll be able to do this exact same thing if you watch this video. So what that was very simply I opened a new bank account. And don't click off this video just because I said I opened a new bank account. That's what the video is going to be about. What I'm going to show you is what I did, why I did it, and then how I'm using it to meet the financial goals that I have, and ultimately how you can use it to meet the financial goals that you have in your life. So watch this video, click the thumbs up button to get this video out to more people, and why not subscribe if you're interested in videos related to personal development, health, and wealth. So very briefly, I opened a new bank account. Why did I do that? Specifically because as I do most of my banking within my main bank, I have a checking account, I have a savings account, and I have my investing accounts. Within all of that though, I found it very hard to distinguish between the savings that I had and the savings that I might have being allocated for something else. So right now, I'm looking at buying a car in the next few months. Obviously, buying a house is in the horizon as well, and then buying other things for my business and just other things that I want to do. But specifically, let's say I had most of that into one savings account, and it was really hard for me to see maybe I had this amount of money, $5,000 allocated for this thing, or I had $10,000 allocated for another thing. So with all of those, really it was challenging for me to specifically see all of my money sitting in one main account that I was saving up for things. So with that, what I decided to do is I opened a new bank account, and I'm calling this my goal account. So in the next few months, I want to buy a new vehicle. With that, this goal account specifically is money that I am allocating for whatever the nearest and closest goal is that I'm working towards. So with that, I'm buying a car. I already have money put into this account that I have recently opened that is going to be working towards going to buying that vehicle. I have gone specifically and opened another bank account within my banking information, within my banking accounts. And really that's allowed me to get specific and focused on achieving that goal. And that is one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people, when they're creating financial goals, really don't fall behind. They don't open a specific bank account and say, this is my goal account and this is the goal that I'm working to do. So I'm going to buy a car by my birthday. Let's say November 14th of this year, I'm going to buy a vehicle before then. That's something that I need to do. I know that I'm going to need to do that in a few months, so that is the goal that I'm working towards. And that might be the same goal that you have, buying a vehicle. You might be looking at buying a house, buying a boat, buying a trip for your family. Whatever that goal is, you got to get clear on specifically what it is and when you want to achieve it by. So some of the things that I looked for when I went through and created this new bank account is I wanted to make sure that there were no to minimal fees. And I don't know what type of bank accounts you can open depending on who you bank with, what country you live in, etc. But for me here in Canada, I was able to open a no-fee savings account. And mainly this is something that is done online. This is something that I have also in some other bank accounts. But with that, no fees is really important to me because I'm saving towards something, saving to buy a vehicle. I don't want to be paying fees to manage my money separately. This is a separate bank account that I can transfer money in and out of while working towards the goal of buying a car and having enough money to buy a car. So I don't want to be spending a lot of money, if any money, on fees that I don't really need. So that's number one thing that I looked for. The second thing that I looked for when opening this bank account was I really wanted to make sure that I was opening a bank account with a high interest amount. The highest interest I could possibly get, I went for that one. And this is something that really was able to be met with the type of account that I opened. So a lot of the times the online savings accounts are typically higher in interest. I'd encourage you to do some research and make sure and see what the options are for you to make sure that you get the best one possible. And the third thing here is ultimately that I can transfer in and out of the account at any time that I wish. Sometimes there are accounts that kind of limit the amount of time you can put money into the account for and taking it out for, that's something that you should do some research with. So ultimately, what I did was open a new bank account. I just explained to you why I opened a new bank account and then how I'm doing that. So now that I've opened it, the very first thing that I did is I went ahead and deposited some money into that account right away. What I want to do is I want to make sure that that account is not just sitting at zero. It's my goal account and I'm not taking actionable steps to achieving that financial goal that I have. So the very first thing that I did, literally seconds after opening this account, was I went ahead and I deposited some money. For you, this could be $100 depending on your goal, $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. It doesn't matter really the amount, but what I want you to start doing is I want you to start building momentum. So I want you to put some money into that account right away. And then after that, now that you have money in that account, I want you to come up with a plan. And that's what I think the biggest thing is for creating this goal bank account that you have, is really you're working towards following a plan that you've designed that is going to help you achieve that goal. So you are able to say, I'm on track to meet this goal, or I'm not on track. You are able to take your income, the income that you get on your paycheck, for example, you're going to say, I'm going to take 10, 25%, 50% of that amount, and I'm going to set it up to automatically transfer in, or you can manually transfer it yourself, but I'm going to take 25, 50% of my paycheck, and I'm going to delegate it towards saving for the goal that you have. And I think that when you can do this automatically, when you can do this and you kind of lived with the rest of your paycheck, this is one of the things that you're going to do to really achieve success. If you want to get into kind of wondering if your money is best served by saving it or by investing it in an asset somewhere, that is something that you should decide based on the length of the goal that you're trying to achieve. So for me, it's a very short amount of time, just a couple months, that I want to save towards buying a vehicle. I do not think investing a large portion of that money is going to be smart, especially in this kind of economic climate where we're not really sure what's happening. On the other hand, I do invest a regular portion of my income, so I'm going to continue doing that. But for saving towards a vehicle, I'm going to take a very small amount because there's a high risk that that could go up. And if you look at some of the statistics, there's a high risk that that could go down. So that's one of the things that I'm going to do. But developing a plan to achieving that financial goal is going to be very key. On top of that, any money that I make on the side, I'm going to be putting into this account. So maybe that's here on the internet, the business that I have, through the coaching, through the videos that I make, through the other services that I can offer people. I'm going to be taking that money and putting it into my goal account towards buying a new vehicle. Maybe you have a side hustle. Maybe you need to look at some of the side hustles that you're going to add into your life and you're going to create. And maybe that's what you're going to leverage to add money into this goal account so it doesn't take away from your main regular income. That's something for you to decide. But ultimately, after you've opened this goal account and you've come up with your plan, the big thing here is you just need to take action on it. You need to stick with it. You need to make it happen. So one of the biggest benefits of this goal account is being super focused with your money, with your time, with your energy on achieving the financial goals that you have. Those could be small, like taking a weekend away with your wife, with your family. That could be a little bit larger for me, buying a car, or ultimately in the next year or two, buying a house. It doesn't matter what the goal is, but this is a surefire way, if you follow these steps, that you're going to be able to achieve that goal. So I hope this video helped you. If it did, please click the thumbs up button, and I'm going to ask that you share this video with at least 2 people that you know it's going to help. I'd really appreciate that. If you're not subscribed, I make videos related to living your greatest life through personal development, health, and wealth. I'd appreciate it if you went down and clicked that button and joined us on this journey. Reach out to me here on YouTube, on Instagram, or through email to let me know how these videos are helping you, and I'd really appreciate that. So thanks for watching. Remember, choose greatness every day, and I'll see you next time.